make you come here first!
Oh, it's ready. We just gotta use some 800 grit to just key the surface, because it's a weird surface. I don't think it will come out nice if you do it. It's kind of dusty, so just to get rid of that, we start just dry sanding with some 800.
Nowhere, there is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up, no time to lay, to drift away. I find my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again, and as I fall I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go.
So now that this is finished with the dry sanding with 800 grit to get the etch primer sort of dust off, now I'm going to start spraying it with some satin black tough paint. Now this I haven't done any long-term tests on it, but I've had pretty decent results with it, so in terms of look. So what we're going to do is we're using a new can. As you can see, it says number 2 because I got 2 in a pack, and let me turn this down for a second. So I got 2 in a pack and I used the first one, and you can tell by the weight. So if you measure the weight when you first get it, and then once you've completely emptied the can, measure its weight, and you kind of get an indication of how long that lasts. So according to the weight, we're more than halfway empty on that one, and after that the kind of quality starts dipping. So that's why I'm going to use this brand new can. Another tip is if you can put the brand new can in a pot of hot water, then it's sort of, because right now it's like really cold outside and my garage is freezing, this can is pretty freezing as well, so apparently it helps release the paint a bit better, and you know, it doesn't come out as blobs, it just comes out as a nice fine spray. So we're gonna go put this in a bit of warm water for about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna get that set up on a rudimentary spraying setup outside, and then we're gonna see how it comes out. So yeah, I can't say this solution is ideal. So basically I got a chair and I got a table. I balanced this gazebo pole in between. We had to take the gazebo down because the wind blew it over and it broke one of the poles, so we just took it down, and now I have nothing to hang from. So like, I just used this with a bungee cord wrapped around. Now that bungee cord has failed a couple of times, as in this hook just comes out and then it just unravels and drops its shit on the grass, but hoping it doesn't happen this time. The safest way would be to wind it up a bit and then the hook come and hook it onto another piece so that it's always balanced, but you know, that's not always practical because you don't get full coverage where that hook is, but you know, we'll deal with it. Let's go deal with the paint for now. So it's set up, it's dangling in the wind. Now we're gonna, what I usually do with tough black is I find that I do a light first coat, wait about 25 minutes, then a second, then a third, get the full coverage, and then at the end I do a fourth coat just to like sort of finalize things, and that's a nice thick coat. And then potentially, if the finish isn't good, then I wet sand the tough black, and then after that I choose whether or not to redo the last top coat with a new can. So we'll see, because sometimes I got really grainy finish, and then when you wet sand it with some 1200 grit, and I saw on a forum someone got really good results. So you wet sand it with 1200, it feels really smooth like glass, and then you recoat it with a new can and it just comes out really smooth in satin, and it's very nice. So well, the protection, what do you call it, the weather protection for this component, this basically sits behind the screen inside the fairing connected to the top yoke. So it was rusted from the back a bit, and this section, which was not covered by foam, this section was all covered by foam. It was a bit rusty here, but it was like all surface rust. So originally I think they use enamel on this, but I'm going to use tough black. And the plan is to make it look nice, because I made a new foam piece for that as well. Make it look nice for the time being, and I might replace it with a Koso in the future. But yeah, right now my budget isn't stretching to that, so let's just make this look nice. So yeah, we got everything set up right now, and the can is in some warm water warming up. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to say you need to use proper safety gear when spray painting. You need to ideally have a respirator, some safety goggles and stuff like that. I have safety goggles, I have a regular face mask, but I don't have a respirator, so that's on the list, and we'll get that soon. But basically this is a serious matter, because like you can get allergic reactions and stuff. I learned the hard way, so yeah, I always wear my goggles and my mask. So yeah. So I've had this in the hot water for 20 minutes. Now it's 2:07 or 1:07 on the new time. I'm gonna shake this can nice and warm for at least 2 minutes before I start spraying. So just use the hot water from it, get it all nice and mixed up before you start spraying, so it comes out easy.
I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting down, feeling fine. I'm light as air.
So we finished the first coat. Let's take a look. So that's how it looks after the first coat. So it went from grey to dark grey with spots and stuff. So yeah, just get basic coverage on most parts underneath and everything. A light tack coat like that, and basically leave that for 25 minutes. Stick the can back into the warm water, and we'll come back to it. So while we're waiting for that to dry, let's go inside and look at some other stuff. It needs at least 25 minutes. So I just wanted to... So this is the rest of the Speedo stuff. So I bagged it up, all the nice and clean stuff that I just painted, the new foam piece, I put that there. And then all the dirty stuff, like all the bolts and stuff, they've gone in a separate bag. I've sort of bubble wrapped some stuff just in case it gets left for a while. And basically this is something I wanted to show you, get an opinion of. So basically these are the old gauges. So we got the tachometer and the Speedo. So as you can see, the bezel is quite worn by the sand and dust in Pakistan. Basically that's where this bike is from, and it's quite dusty. Now dust I can clean, that's not an issue, but it's this paint that's worn out. So I might leave it as a patina, I guess, but then again my temperature gauge is completely perfect because I got it from a different bike. Then we got this one. This one is the main problem. So basically, as you can see, I think it might be dented from the top, and someone's used some filler or something just to cover it up, or maybe it's cracked, I'm not sure, to be honest. It's showing 27,000 miles. I don't want a brand new one because again I'd have to replace that as well to get the look. Its stalk works, everything's fine with it. Speedo drive is present. Also this sort of fake leather rubber type thing at the top, it's sort of melted and deformed, so from the front it looks a bit weird. I might just live with that, or might, kind of takes up the space in between the bracket and the thing, sort of cushions it, so I might have to leave it in there. And I can't sort of rotate it because it's got that little cutout, so that's the only way it goes. Otherwise I would have sort of rotated it and brought it near the bottom where you can't see it. or maybe near the top. Maybe you can't see it because of the angle, because it sits like that. So I don't know, I'll have to have a look, but I'm gonna give these a clean in a bit, you know, and we'll go from there.
Can't reach me, lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go.
Let's come have a look at the paint on the Speedo bracket. So it's been almost 24 hours. So here it is. That's what it looks like. Stick that over there. So we seem to have got pretty good coverage. The only couple of places where I can see that there's a bit of a problem is right there somewhere. I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually very faint. I saw it yesterday in the direct light. Let's see if we can find it. There's a region just there, if it wants to focus, but that's where I hooked it up. So the hook kind of blocked that last coat, and you can just about tell there's a region there as well. But I reckon it's, yeah, there you go, you see that. But I think it's very, very minute. I don't think anyone's going to be able to see that. So that's the front of it. So sitting over there, it looks nice and new, with the foam piece around the right side and the left side without anything, but it looks really nice. Then we got these sort of stalks that run down from there. Those are looking very nice as well. Let's flip it around. Let's have a look. This part was very, very rusty. I remember I took a picture when I was taking it apart, but this looks good as new now. It looks very good. Got really nice coverage around there. Let's have a look. And it's looking good, if you ask me. Looking good everywhere. I masked up those bolts. Let's see if they survived. Masked up that one as well right there. And yeah, I reckon this is good to go. I'm just gonna unmask it now, and we'll see if we can clean up the gauges and then reassemble.